Everybody. I'm Liz Staubach, the chair of the City of Albany IDA. Just want to note that we have a quorum and all members of the board are in attendance. So the first item on the agenda is to approve the meeting minutes. So I ask for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we'll move on to the report of the Chief Financial Officer. So I'll toss it over to Amy.
Thank you. Revenues for July came in at $70,046, and we had expenses of $42,672, which were all budgeted for 2022.
Any questions for Amy? Okay, so we have no unfinished business. We'll move on to new business and the Clinton Avenue Apartments. Andy?
Thank you. I'm just going to give a quick recap of the project and the request. In January of 2021, the agency approved a shelter rent pilot for the historic preservation of 4 vacant row homes, the redevelopment of a school, and the new construction of a 3-story mixed-use building, the project totaling 61 affordable housing units and approximately 12,000 square feet of commercial space intended for community-focused use. The applicant spent the remainder of 2021 seeking approval for low-income housing tax credits. That approval was subsequently granted in the fourth quarter of 2021. The project applicant did have to come back to seek an additional 8-month extension to align the agency closing with the expected financing. However, the applicant is again seeking additional time, in this instance through the end of the calendar year, December 31st, 2022, due to cost increases that were realized during the construction bidding process. Important to note that this is an administrative request with no new or additional assistance being requested at this time. We also have a representative of the project applicant with us here today, Linda McFarland, that can answer any further questions.
Anyone have any questions for Andy or Linda?
Pretty straightforward,
Yeah. And the question I had asked Tom previously is the 6 months gives a little extra buffer as well in case. Do you want to go ahead and read the?
Sure. So this is a resolution approving a second extension of the expiration date relating to the approving resolution adopted by the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency and the designation of company with respect to a commercial project for Home Leasing LLC.
Can I get a motion?
So moved. Second. Oh.
I think everyone seconds, so. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much, Linda.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're very much looking forward to this one.
Yes, me too.
Thank you too.
Okay, so other agency business.
Great, we do have a few things, Chair, to go through. One is brand new news this morning. The Common Council did vote on Monday to approve both candidates for the board. So we will, hopefully as of the September meetings, have Chris Betts and John Maxwell starting with us at the agency. They still have to sign their oath of office, and so they aren't official for today, but we will get them oriented to the board the same way we have with everybody else, and then hope to see them live for the meetings in September. So those interviews, I wasn't able to be present for them, but Liz and Tom joined. There was positive commentary on both. They were excellent with their answers to the questions and should both be good additions to the board. Chris is an affordable housing consultant. You've seen both of their resumes, and John is a real estate attorney, and so their skill sets will be really helpful as well. Anything else? Questions on those? So that is the big update. Some other smaller pieces, not smaller necessarily, but we've been waiting for those 2 appointments. So that's the headliner. We are at Capitalize Albany, and we do report out on economic activity, the work that we're doing over there. It's summer, and the state likes to make summer grant application time. So they have to do all of the reviewing after the summer. We have to do all of the applying during the summer. We're in the middle of a couple of different state funding rounds at this point. We just wrapped up the CFA review process with the city. Thanks to Renee and Ashley for leading the charge on that and getting that coordinated and organized, working through potential projects citywide. We also have been working on both the Restore New York application for the City of Albany, as well as the City of Albany's Downtown Revitalization Initiative. And so we do have two potential projects moving forward. We'll be able to talk more about those as the city selects the final project that goes in for that deadline that comes up in October. And the city is going to be moving forward with a Downtown Revitalization Initiative application for South Pearl Street. And so we'll be working on that. You'll be hearing much more about that throughout the application process, and hopefully even more if we are named the winners of that, which we won't find out until probably early next year. So we'll be working through between now and the end of September, putting an application together for that corridor. And if you recall, that's the funding that the city received for the Clinton Square application several years ago. So we're looking forward to that. We're also working on really what the state is putting forward as a site selection initiative as well that identifies shovel-ready sites. So we've talked about that a little bit before. We're still working through that process of identifying our mini mega sites here in the city of Albany to do that. So those statewide initiatives are something that we are very much focused on at this point, sort of the typical timing for that. We're also focused on a couple of local initiatives as well. You'll hear more at our CRC meeting next month related to our grant programs, particularly our Amplify Albany grant program has had just a flood of applications recently for really exciting events, but it also means that we are getting really tight on funding at this point. So we'll have Renee come and talk to the CRC next month about that, but we're also in the thick of the ARPA award that Capitalize Albany was able to receive for small business programs. So we're working through developing those program guidelines and really working with partners to be able to get those programs out on that. So that is the sort of side note of what Capitalize Albany is up to right now in the midst of everything else that's always going on over there. We've got some pretty topical pieces underway. Back here at the IDA, we are still underway with our market studies that the board had approved. So we're on pace with those. And we have entered officially budget season. And so we'll have a draft of our budget to the city treasurer and able to be posted by the end of the month. And then you all will start to see that at Finance Committee for an October approval per requirement. So those, I believe, are the agency updates for today.
Thank you. Any questions or anything to try? All right, compliance update.
Great. We do have a compliance update today, which is just a kind of a review of our project insurance review. And I'm going to turn it over to Andy, but I'll just say, every year around this time, we go through and just make sure that we have the most recent and up-to-date insurance certificates on file. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Andy.
Sure. Just a quick high-level review. As Tom said, this is agency staff's annual review of active projects insurance coverages. We do tie that process into annual compliance. It tends to spill over into the months after, just due to the fact that there's a lot of different rollover dates. So we are working through that. We expect to complete our review in the coming weeks. We expect all projects will be in compliance with the outlined coverages within the documents.
Okay, thank you. And the last item on the agenda is Lincoln Park acquisition, Capitalize Albany Corporation.
Thank you, Chair. And we all apologize for the last minute addition to the agenda. And
so I would just note that Capitalize Albany staff at this point, pursuant to the conflict that we have reported on frequently over the past several years, will be recusing ourselves for this portion of the meeting and leaving the room for that.
Great, thank you. And you're our representative on CAC, right?
Joe, can I be of assistance in dialing check-in?
Thank you.
There we go.
Second.
Yep. Just 1 second. Yep.
We'll need to vote and to go if there's an executive session.
Yes.
Let me dial Chuck in first.
Will you let us know?
So we can try live stream those or are you going to do that? If you come get us when you vote to go in. When you vote to go in, will you just come and get us?
Yes,
We'll just
okay.
get your best.
Okay, great, thanks.
Chuck Malcolm.
Hey Chuck, this is Tom Conoscenti from the City of Albany IDA in Capitalized Albany. I have you on speakerphone and you're currently live streamed and in the middle of the meeting. So with that, I'm going to excuse myself from the meeting, and you got the City of Albany IDA board and council here in the room.
Thanks, Chuck. I'm just going to do a brief intro, then we're going to go, I'm going to suggest that we go into executive session. So give us a second before we ask you to report on this latest development. So I'll just start by saying I apologize for the last minute change to the agenda. There were some developments late Friday and on Monday. As per our normal operating procedure, we want to keep you apprised of things as they develop with respect to the Liberty Park matter. I would suggest as your counsel that we go into executive session because this matter involves litigation and real estate, the discussion of which in public may affect the purchase price.
Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Joe,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Yes, just give us 1 second. Thank you, Marisa. Oh, no, you should. Sorry. Yeah.
We are live and recording.
So we're back in open session. Thank you, Chair. And for the record, no action was taken during executive session. So back to you.
Thank you. We're at the end of the agenda. Anything else anyone would like to discuss?
Lunch.
All right.
Becca, yes, so moved.
In a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, thanks.
All right.
All right. Right. Yep. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah, an executive session.
That's not like a summons or something.
I know, that's what I was expecting. But like Joe Scott, you can serve.
Yes, that's it. Hey, Osmond flew.
There's bags if anyone wants.
Yeah.
Sarah's already all over it. Joe, we're gonna do this.